Hello friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. We have another Xtool F1 tutorial coming at you today. If you didn't watch my previous video, it was the F1, well, I should say the Xtool F1 unboxing. And when we ended that video, we ended it on kind of a sour note. I had discovered that my Glowforge was broken. Womp, womp, womp. And I am coming back to report that in fact, it is broken. So at the unboxing video, I wanted to show you an apples to apples comparison of my slate coaster. This was done on the F1. I have all the notes. It's all in the previous video. And what I was left with my Glowforge was something that looked like this, where it started the engraving and then didn't do anything else because about right here is when my Glowforge decided it was going to break. So that sucks. Anyway, we are not going to harp on the negative things in this video. We are going to move right along to another F1 or Xtool F1 tutorial. Remember in the unboxing video, I had said there's two things that I'm super excited about for the F1. One of which is the speed of which it engraves. I tested a lot of things. The coaster, I have a whole bunch of other things sitting on my desk and I'm about ready to show you. And I can report back as to, holy cow, the videos that you see of it engraving is no lie. Like it is mind-blowing how fast the engraving is. I have yet to cut anything on this. And frankly, I don't know if I'm ever going to use it to cut anything because I really, truly only wanted this machine to engrave really cool things. So did the slate coasters for the unboxing, and then I was frustrated as all heck with my Glowforge, so I decided to sit up here and test out all the things that I thought I was going to need. Now let's revert back. The second thing that I was most excited about was having the ability to engrave soft metals like gold, specifically like gold, because about 7 or 8 years ago my husband made me this necklace right here. It's missing one charm because my daughter now wears it on her necklace, but I'm like a super sentimental person, and if someone goes out of their way to custom make me something with a whole bunch of sentiments, I will wear it until it falls off or it starts to tarnish. So 7 or 8 years ago my husband made me this necklace, and it has these stainless steel charms on it, a family tree, and then what was a heart. On these right here, I don't know if you'll be able to tell because it's so tarnished, but my wedding date's on there, our last name's on there, and then on both of these little things are engravings of my children's name. And since then, the chain is broke, this is tarnished, and I no longer wear it. But I wore this for 7 years solid. I never took it off. We went to the ocean, we went to the shower, we did everything with this necklace. And since the day I took it off, I have been so sad that I didn't have it anymore. Okay, so fast forward the last couple years, my husband has been trying to find new pieces in white gold and recreate the same necklace, because I said I don't want anything different. I want the same thing, but I want it in white gold so it won't tarnish. So I have been A, on the journey to find the pieces, and B, I have been on a journey to find someone that can engrave these metal pieces, these jewelry gold pieces for me. Well, two of which for the last 5 years or 3 years, however long it's been since we've been looking for this, I've never been able to find it. And today I now have the machine that can do the soft metals. And then also one of my sweet friends over on Instagram, she owns a jewelry shop, and she was able to custom order all the pieces that I need and the sizes that I need, and she's going to ship them to me. So today what we're doing is we are going to try and figure out and dial down some settings for metals to prep myself for the next video of me engraving expensive gold jewelry pendants to make my own custom necklace. I'm a little stressed. A, I'm really excited. B, I'm pretty nervous. One jewelry pendant was over $100. So if I mess up, I just wasted $100. That's a huge mess up. So we gotta figure this out. Okay, so remember how I said that I was frustrated that my Glowforge was broken? And I was just sitting up here just waiting for someone to email me back on that machine, that I was just playing around, tinkering around with all things metal. I gotta put my hair up to show you all of this. So when I was tinkering, I was doing a whole bunch of little metal blanks because I am gonna make myself a necklace, right? So like we have like the beginning stages of, obviously you can't see, there's nothing on here. That's because the settings weren't good. And a lot of laser owning is trial and error. And if you look on my desk, there's post-it notes everywhere. There's small little metal pieces everywhere that has my chicken scratch on there and just different settings. So a lot of owning a laser is just that. You get something and it's just trial and error, trying to dial down what settings would work. So I did finally get it dialed down. My settings will be listed in the description of this video. So if you wanted to do any of the jewelry blanks that I'm about ready to show you, or the other things I'm about ready to show you, all of my settings that I think are good for, you know, what I want are going to be in the description of this video. That being said, if you don't like the way that my settings are, I would say that my settings would be your starting point. So use that as a starting point for your machine. But just to show you like different things that I've done, here is like my husband's like, wow, you got a lot of jewelry blanks that have my name on it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with all these jewelry blanks, but you know, these were fairly inexpensive. Xtool does send you some starter jewelry pieces, so that's nice too. While I was doing all of these jewelry blanks, my husband was up here and said, wait, I have these like stainless steel straws just laying around. I have a lot of them just for tumblers that I don't need and what have you. So he said, can you do that? And I did not have the rotary attachment, but like you can tell that I am engraving on top of a stainless steel straw. Now I've dialed down the settings and I figured out like the best settings for this, and this one right here is like the absolute best setting. And I don't know if you're going to be able to read it. I don't know if my camera will pick it up or not, but it says trends straw keep off. I did this for my daughter. She's a little bit of a germy and doesn't like people drinking out of her stuff. But and of course you don't have feel-o-vision, but like the engraving is actually engraved onto the straw, and there's like kind of like an indentation in there. It doesn't feel bad. It's not like super rough, but you can tell it's actually inside the metal versus laying on top of it. So a lot of times with the marking sprays that you would get, and they're kind of pricey, but I have like a small little bottle of it. It is just marking the top layer of your metal blank. So I did this on the M1 sometime last year, and I used marking spray for this, and it didn't, do you see how these are supposed to be fingerprints and they don't really look all that amazing, right? This is with the marking spray. So having the infrared, which that's what the F1, the difference between the M1 and the F1 is that the F1 has infrared and blue light. So the infrared light can really mark on metals a lot better than any other laser out there. Okay, so like I said, Xtool gives you like some starter blanks, and I decided that I was going to make a dog tag for my dog. Now, don't judge me. I did use a sentence enhancer in this tag, but I just thought it was really funny. Do you see this? So on the back of this is going to have my name and my phone number, but there is my dog tag, and then here's the other one. This one I think was the best, but I put it in sideways, so it's crooked, unfortunately. Obviously, I think that I would need like bigger font because it is kind of hard to read, but it's definitely in there. Okay, and then right before I decided to turn the camera on and say hi to you, I did some metal business cards with my son's picture on it. So for his birthday, this is his birthday picture, is going to be on your screen. This is what it looked like in the Xtool to engrave. And then these were the finished products of the business card. You can tell that like with this one, this was my first one right here. This right here, I realized that I did not have it set up properly, and now I have a cute little engrave mark in my bed of my F1. But you can see that like just changing settings changes the look of how things look. So I would say that these are my last two. This was my second to last one, and then this is my last one. It's kind of hard to see because the light is reflecting off of it, but I would say that this one is the best out of all of the engravings. That being said, doing like realist photos of anyone is so hard. So we're not even going to do something like this today because they're so hard. I have been a laser owner for 4 years, and I was just telling my husband that this is like not something that I enjoy to do. It's really hard just to get the settings correct, and you have to engrave them in order to know if they're going to look correct. I mean, if anyone knows of an easier way to engrave photos to make them look good, please let me know, because I would love to learn from you, because I can't figure out like what would be like a streamline, because every photo is different. The lighting's different, the coloring is different. Like, how do I get good engravings all the time without having to spend an hour on each photo? Because that's what I do. Okay, so today we're just going to be working on the Xtool blanks that they send us, and then I can just show you the different settings and the way and how fast the machine runs and, you know, all that jazz. Nothing super special, but I am going to just try and prep myself for a little expensive craft coming up. Okay, so the one cool thing that comes with this Xtool is this like little L bar. I kind of wish that they had multiples of this. Maybe you can buy this as like a replacement product. I don't know, but I feel like I would like at least one more of these. But like if you were going to be doing multiples, so let's say like I have this right here. I'm not going to bust them open today, but I have like this right here, and it has 4 of each one of these blanks. If I was going to be doing multiple, like if you were at a kiosk at the mall, or you were doing this as a business, what have you, you would put this thing onto the bed of your Xtool, and let's say we're going to just do it right here. We're going to line everything up to this corner. Tighten these up into the holes of this bed. Let's just pretend like I have multiples of this circle pendant. Okay, so this is how you would load it in. You would always put it into the top left of your L. So going over into the Xtool creative space. This is like everything that I have just been kind of messing around with. So I'm going to drag my son's picture off of that. And let's just do a text. And when you add text box, you click the text box, it's right here. You cannot edit the text box here. You have to go over here to the text box, and let's just do the letter R. Why? I have no idea. I don't even know anyone that starts with the name of the letter R, but let's just do it. Okay, so you can come over here into typeface, and we can change the typeface. I like that. So let's just put that in the middle. I'm going to put this in the middle. Okay, and the very next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you're properly focused on whatever it is that you would like to engrave. So I'm going to come over here to use autofocus, and I'm just going to press this button and then press OK. The machine is going to do automatically the focusing that it needs. Okay? Going back over into this, my settings that I had used was over here. We want to change this to an engrave. I'm going to change this to the infrared or IR. I'm going to change my power over to 100, 60 speed, and we got 5 passes. Lines per inch, I'm going to do 300, or I guess it's lines per centimeter on the Xtool. Now what you want to do is go to frame. Do you see this blue box that has lit up? That is where your engraving is going to engrave. Obviously, it is way too big and not even in the correct spot. I'm going to stop the frame. I'm going to go over here to the R. I'm obviously going to make this smaller, and then I'm going to do framing again. Okay, so it's going to be very hard to see. Okay, so I put a piece of Post-it on top of my blank just so I can see what I'm doing. It does not look like it's perfectly center. We're close, but not perfectly center. So I'm going to stop framing and then move your R just over a little bit. And then we're going to press frame again. Okay, I'm going to need to drag this up. So if I were to click this and drag this up, the framing is not going to change. So you have to stop framing and then start it again. Okay, so where I have it right now seems to be exactly where I need it to be. So I'm just gonna press stop framing. Now, clicking back over, and sometimes when you click, your mouse will like click and drag really easily. So I just like to hover, like click and drag like this. It gets selected, just verifying that my settings are what it is, and I'm gonna press process. So then you wanna press start on your computer, and then on your Xtool, the button that's over here on the side, you're gonna press that. Okay, so that took 5 minutes and 28 seconds. Now, I do think as I was sitting here watching it run, maybe we could have stopped it sooner than that, but I like my engravings to be really thick and dark, so I prefer, but I mean, I guess this is all for preference. So this is what the look of the blank will look like. And as I was sitting there and waiting for it to go, I found another one that's exactly the same size as the one that I had. So all I'm going to do is because we've already set this up, right? The L set up, everything's set up. I'm just going to put this back in that corner. If we go over here to OK, just pressing OK, and we go back to framing, that little piece is going to be framed out exactly where it needs to go. So if you were doing multiple R's, but you never had to go back to this screen, all you needed to do is, instead of it being start, when we were done, it said process again. So switching it out really quickly, like this was right here, all we would need to have done is taken this off, put this back, press process again, and then we didn't have to do anything else. We didn't have to change anything. We didn't have to move anything around. That is like the coolest part about that little L. This is our finished jewelry blank right here though. 5 minutes, stainless steel, looks so stinking cute. Okay, so I don't want to do another one of those R's, so I'm just going to press back. Xtool, in one of their starter materials that they sent me, was this like business card holder. It's just like a case. You flip it open, it has like stickers on it, but then you put business cards in it. So there's a metal case. If you have nothing clicked, let's just pretend that this is all just empty. We got it all empty. If you go over here to material, because this is something that was sent to me by Xtool, so this is an Xtool product. They already have things loaded up in here that are the settings that they suggest. So I didn't see it in this drop down. So I'm going to put in card holder. It says not supported yet, but I know it can do it. So let's just exit out of that. This is like just stainless steel. Let me throw this in here. Okay, so I'm gonna just insert a shape. Let's just do a giraffe. Look at, or is that not even a giraffe? What is that? That is a lion. We'll just do a lion. So then we'll do engrave. I'm gonna do the IR and the manual settings. Let's just test this out. So I'm gonna do my 100 power down to 40 speed. We'll do 2 passes, and lines per inch or lines per centimeter, we'll do 240. Okay, let's frame this. It looks like it's not centered and it's too big, so I'm gonna stop my framing. Click on my lion. I'm gonna make him just a little bit smaller, and I'm gonna drag him over. We're gonna try and align him to the middle of that card holder. Okay, that looks about good. We're gonna try it. This is all about crafting and learning your new machine. It's just testing things out. Okay, then we'll press process and we'll press start. Now, before we press start, if there is a fire or something's happening that you don't want it to happen, like it's not engraving or whatever the reasoning, on this side of your machine, so the side that's closest to me is where you would press the start. On the other side of the machine, there is an emergency button. So if you don't want the engraving and you want it to stop, all you have to do is just press that emergency button and everything will stop. So just know that. So now it says that we're ready to go. I'm going to press the button on the left. It is so hard to see. I don't even know if the camera is going to pick it up. There is a little bit of engraving. Okay, I think it's going to be way too light, so I'm just going to press cancel, press OK. I'm going to cancel the task. So I'm going to hover back over that lion. I'm going to bump my speed up. Let's bump my speed up to, let's do 80. And we'll do 2 passes. and then we'll press process. Is it gonna work? I don't know. Because I did not move this around, and I know that where I have lined it up before is where it's going to engrave, and I like that. I didn't have to change the settings or move anything around or have to reframe this to figure out if it's going to be there. I just wanted to change the settings. So now we're gonna press start, and I'm gonna press start again. Okay, so I don't know if I would necessarily suggest the settings that I use. I mean, it did work. We have a finished product and the metal is on there, but holy cow, it took 41 minutes. So, you know, the settings I used will be in the description of this video, but just know it's going to take you a long time. So I don't think that this was correct by any means. But here is the finished lion business card holder. Do I need a lion business card holder? No, I don't. Thankfully, it was just something that Xtool sent with starter material. So if anyone needs this, let me know, because I got one just hanging around. But anyway, so it's like soft to the touch. You can't scratch it off no matter how hard I try. It's on there. All right, I sure hope I inspired you to at least experiment with your new Xtool F1. And the next time you see me doing an F1 project, it is going to be engraving the gold necklace pendants that my friend is sending me. I'm gonna need some like good vibes, some you know, crafting prayers, some stuff, some mojo, because I am nervous. I'm excited, but I am nervous. All right, y'all, I will see you later.